On today's Fixing Bugs and Stuff, we're going to look at the back rear bumper attachment. Okay, a closer look at it. Seems pretty normal, right? Just how much here? This is flaking off a little bit. See that? See that there? You don't notice that this is rust right there. It seems like surface rust. Not bad. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna start taking off this black coating here. I want to get a closer look. I know that this, a lot of times for these beetles, it may look fine out here, but there's another layer of metal behind this that rusts out pretty frequent, and you don't take notice to it until later on, and I'll show you what I mean. Go over here. I don't know if you can see in there. It's not bad. Slightly rusted. This is not what I'm talking about. That's one layer of metal. The one I'm talking about, it's really bad. If you look underneath. Underneath here, boom. That's the metal I'm talking about. It's all rotted out. This is where you mount your bracket for your rear bumper. So, all this needs to be fixed. Seems like the Volkswagens, this is an area that people miss because it's behind a couple layers of metal. There's a hole. There's another hole there. So I got replacement parts for this whole thing. I was just afraid that a lot of times you don't see it from the outside and it's just hidden. This is a must. If you have any coating on here, I would definitely remove it. Check it out, make sure it's good. But 9 times out of 10 in the Northeast here, this area gets rusted out pretty bad. All the salt and water gets up in here. So, that's what I'm about to do. So instead of me boring you guys with me just scrape, I am just gonna scrape and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, clean it up pretty good. Of course, there's a hole up here I showed you before. And I found some more rust holes down here. So, either two things I can do. I can try to patch it up, patch these holes up, go on the other side, put some metal in, patch them up. But it becomes difficult to do that. We'll mark it, we'll cut it out. Since I already bought the pieces for it, this is from CIP1. The name of the company that makes it is, I guess it's called Clokerhelm. It's pretty thick gauge. It might be 18 gauge, but it's pretty thick. Looks like it's thicker than what's currently on here, which is good. So I'm gonna replace it. But before I start cutting and doing all this crazy stuff, I want to fit this up properly. Now, be careful. They come in left and right. And this one's for the left. As you can see, it fits like right there. However, if you get the other one, which is the right side, you can make this kind of fit like that, but it's off. See all this spacing here? So be careful. I've seen guys buy these, put them in, and then put the wrong ones in. So if you want, what I do is I put this off to the side, and that way I don't get them mixed up. And since this is a 66, I believe this is for a 66 and under. Oh, I'm sorry, 67 and under. So this will work just fine. So let's fit this up and then do some markings, and then we'll do some cutting. So I use vice grips to hold this in place, and then I put these punches through to be sure that I am line to line with the hole on the other side. That way I can get the screw in. You're gonna have to finagle it a little bit, but you want them both to be kind of loose. Same thing with this one here. So it's in line with the hole behind it, which is actual mount for the bumper. So I'm just gonna draw a line around it. Okay, after I mark, I'm gonna take these out. Take this off. Now with these new dots, I can measure from the center up to here. So this is 4 inches. And then the center of this is 2 inches. Just added insurance once I put the new sheet metal in. I'm not gonna be cutting anything here. It's all gonna be out here. So let's get to cutting. Bet you guys are getting some pretty cool shots, huh? Sparks flying. So I'm gonna move the camera and finish this up. I'm not gonna bore you with me just cutting. Okay, cut it out. I'm gonna take this piece off. There we go. You can see the rot that's in here. Now, technically, I can go in here, clean this up, and then just weld it back in. I could do that, but you can see in here it's kind of salvageable. If I was in a bind, I would definitely rescue it. But no, if I already have the piece, I'm just gonna fix it. And this is, see this part here? This is part of your firewall. So I have to bang that out, but I still have to add sheet metal in here. And then put the new piece in. I want to see what the new piece looks like. New piece will go in there like that. I just have to clear it out a little bit more. I did leave like an edge here. Gives me more rigidity when I put the other sheet metal in. The next step we'll do here is work on the sheet metal that goes behind this. I'm gonna have to cut this out because I believe there's rot behind here, rotten metal. So let me do that now. I'm gonna cut a little piece out. You're only cutting this sheet out here. There's still another panel behind here. See if I can get close. You can see that panel. There's a panel behind there. It's not too bad. It just needs to be cleaned up, but it's not rotted out. But anyway, I have to cut this out and see what's back there. I'll replace this part. It doesn't have to be with this boss. So that'll be next. Okay guys, as you can see, I cut out this area here. It's a lot larger than what I intended to do. Come to find out, when I cut out this particular piece here, I found more rust behind it. So I decided to cut out all the rust that I could. As you can see here, this is peeking into the firewall. There was rust there, I had to cut that out. You see all this junk on the floor. This is all from the rust. I cut this new piece here to make it look like this. Okay, that's pretty close. Okay, so my plan was to take this out, put this one in. Well, as you can see, after all the rust that was cut out from here, this kind of like gonna be floating in here a little bit. So that's no problem. What we have to do is add sheet metal to this, and then we will fit this up, line it up correctly, and weld it to that sheet metal. But anyway, I should have known better. I should have known. So I know for the other side that there'll be rust creeping around the corner. And as you cut and grind, you're gonna find it. You're gonna find it. So the best thing to do is just remove as much as possible. And at this point, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just add the sheet metal. This can move in and out. You could bend this to whatever you need it to be, whatever shape you need to. But yeah, that'll be the next thing. We will add the sheet metal. Okay, I have these leftover pieces here. I'm gonna use these to cover up the hole here. So this is about, I think this is like an 18 gauge, 19 gauge, close to that. And this is, after me measuring, is about the same, at 18, 19 gauge as well. So this will be perfect for that. I know you see that these have like these little boxes in them. All that is for is just to give it strength, and it'll be okay to put inside here. Right? And more strength, the better. So what you want to do is make sure that these bosses face on the inside of here. They face that way. You don't want to face them this way, because then you got to deal with the with this, putting that on there, and it's gonna be a little bumpy. So that's not what you want. You don't want that. So I'm gonna use these pieces that I have left over. Be perfect for that. They're easy to bend. You can see here, you can bend it by hand. Do it one-handed here. Just bend it by hand, see? Easy to manipulate. So that'll be next. I'm going to fit these up, and then I'm going to weld them on, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. Okay, I replaced this panel here. It came out pretty good. Just need to clean up the welds on this side here a little bit. But I did not attach the bottom here. This is kind of loose. You can see I can pull it out. So what I want to do is I want to work with this metal a little bit. And then once I finalize where this is going to sit, then I will tie this in and weld this in. And basically, I'll show you is that this metal that you get is not formed exactly to what the old one was. So it doesn't really fit in there pretty good. So once you add this in here and size it up where it needs to go, it has a little bit of a gap in certain areas. So you're gonna have to work with this and bend this a little bit. Any sheet metal that you get, you're gonna have to bend. This is, again, not year specific, so they make them just general. I have my measurements all set up for this, no problems. But if you lose your measurements and you accidentally cut out something that's no good, you can always go to the other side here and make like a cardboard template of this side, if it's in good shape like this one, and then transfer it to the other side, and you will be okay. So that's why I always recommend, if you're gonna do sheet metal, do one side at a time if you can. Sometimes it's not possible, but if you can, one side at a time, just in case something happens. That'll be the next step. Working with this guy. Okay, I finally welded in this last brace here. This kind of wraps it up. I didn't weld it, I didn't seam weld it all the way across. I seam welded like around the corners here, went along here. You can see it there as well. I didn't clean up the welds as like I normally do. I really make them look nice, but this is gonna be underneath the car, so you're not gonna really see it unless you plan to do some kind of show bug where you wanna clean up all the welds, make it look pretty, if you're looking to do that kind of competition. But anyway, this came out pretty good. This is how it normally goes. I did tie on that bottom piece. That bottom piece went in pretty good as well. I welded that. And that's basically it. No problems here. And I think that's it for the video. So please like, subscribe, and comment. And thank you for watching.